Alright guys, in this video I'm going to be showing you how to recreate any beat you want using this 6-step process. I'm going to start off showing you how to get your key and BPM, and then I'm going to show you how to do everything else as the video goes on. But first, let's go with step 1, getting your key and BPM. And to start off, we have our beat right here. I made this beat a while back. I have no idea what the BPM is, and I have no idea what the key is. And so there's a couple ways to figure this out. My favorite way is to use this website called TuneBat. The way I like to do it is I'll come here, I'll grab this, drag and drop, and then I'll bring it to this website called tunebat.com. And then as you can see, I'm still holding the clip. I can just drop that straight into here. And I'll get my key, which is F major, and the BPM is 136. So now that we're back in FL Studio, we want to go ahead and set our BPM to 136. And then the way I'll keep in track of my key is I'll go right here, go to piano roll, go up here, go to helpers, and then go to scale highlighting. And it said that it was in F major, so I'm going to hit F. Do that again, go to helpers, scale highlighting, and then go to F major. And now the key is locked into these gray keys right here. So now we don't have to worry about going out of key. Alright, so now that we have our key and BPM, now I'm going to show you how to recreate the chords. And this is going to be a little more complicated, but it should be pretty easy. Yeah, man, let's get into it. Alright guys, and now for figuring out the chords, this is actually a really simple process. What you want to do is you want to send your original beat, you want to go send it to track 1. Go in here and then open this plugin called Wave Candy. It'll be somewhere around here for you. I'm not sure, you could be a different spot. Go to Wave Candy, and then what you want to do is copy my settings, so max res 8000 scale, set it to around here, and then you want to make sure this is on spectrum. And a cool little tip, so you're able to freeze the output like that, so it's not gone while you're looking at it. Because like if you pause it, it's still gonna leave, but you can freeze it. And a cool trick to do that is you want to go right click, link to controller, and if you have a MIDI keyboard or even just your regular keyboard, you go to link to controller, and then you want to move the knob or button or press whatever button you have, and it'll actually activate that. And so now you're able to freeze this output. You want to let this full track play out, and then once it plays out, you want to freeze it, and then you're gonna go into the keys and recreate it. So let's get our output. And there we go. And that's our full loop right there. All right, and now that you're in FL Keys, you want to go ahead and build out the exact notes that this gives you. So the way you'll do that is you'll hover over the brightest spot right here, and it'll say E2, and then the next one says F. So as you can see, that's within the scale. And the way that sounds all together is like this. It goes F, and then it goes to E, G, and then back down to F. Now that you have that, you can go ahead and recreate your chords, and the way you'll do that is same way. You can see you have an E right there, and then you have your B3, and then you have your E4. So that's what these chords will sound like. And what I like to do is, now that I have like my keys, is I'll go and compare it to the original beat to make sure it fits. If there's not anything clashing, then you know that you have the correct chords and the correct bass. So let's go ahead and listen to that. And if you want, you go ahead and like move the volume around, and you can pretty much here's the keys completely removed, and it almost sounds like I'm turning the volume up on the bass note that's playing in the original beat. And that's how you know that you've almost like basically got the perfect chord progression. Alright, and now that we have our chords, we're gonna go ahead and recreate our melody. There's gonna be pretty much the exact same process, but with the melody. So yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Alright, for the melody, it's pretty much the exact same process. You want to go ahead and just copy the notes that you're given here. I already went ahead and picked out the sound that I want, and I placed my melody. So here's how that sounds. And now that I've recreated that. I'm gonna go ahead and show you the original beat so you can compare it yourself. And that's with the notes that I put playing, and here's without the notes. And that's pretty much what you want to do. You just want to go ahead and copy it. You want to lay out your bass, and then you'll get to the part where you pick out your sound and match the delay and all that. And that's actually going to be the next step. I'm going to show you how to match the sounds and the effects, like the delays and all that stuff. And now that we got our melody, I'm going to go ahead and recreate the effects and the sounds. This can be hard if you make it hard, but I have a little trick that I want to show you that makes it a little easier. So yeah, man, let's get into it. Alright, so now that we're here, we're going to go ahead and just listen to the sample and hear what kind of effects are going on, and then we're going to try and find those effects and match them to our chords or to our melody depending on what's hitting. So let's give this sample a quick listen, and then we'll see. Okay, so far all I'm hearing is delay on the melody. I think the bass notes and the chords don't really have anything on them, so this should be pretty simple to recreate. I'm going to show you how to do that. Alright, so the trick to trying to match the delay and like the timing that the delay of the original sample has is, what I like to do is I'll go back and forth and I'll listen to when the delay starts to hit. So for example, you can hear the first 3 notes hit and then 1, 2, 3 again. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And what you want to do is you want to go to the sound that you're recreating and you want to try to match that same tempo. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And so you can hear it, they're hitting on the exact same like time, so that delay is going to be matched. And now that you match the timing on it, you just want to go ahead and match the cutoff and all that. So you can hear that once the delay hits on this one, it's pretty cut off. So here, I'll repeat that for you. It's pretty like faint in the background, so what I'm thinking is I'm going to have to put the cutoff a little higher, maybe the level a little more down, and then we can go ahead and listen to it again. And it's still hitting a little too hard, so maybe I can do a low pass. And then raise the cutoff a little more. And a good trick to listen to the delay on its own without hearing the original audio is to let it play. And then pause it, and then you'll be able to listen to the exact sound. So I think that's getting to a level where it sounds pretty similar, and it might be a little harder because I don't have the exact sound. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how to find a similar sound or get a sound that's as close as possible and then get it to as close to the sample as possible. So starting to sound really similar, I'm going to go ahead and mess with this a little more, and then I'll get to matching the exact sound or trying to get as close as possible so that you can get the sample sounding a lot closer. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and just click through a few of these samples. This is actually a really good plugin, and I think since I created this beat, I'm pretty sure this original beat has the sample from here. So we're just going to click through here so we can find it. Go ahead and open Expand, see if I can find maybe a pluck or a bell there that's similar. Go ahead, cut, paste, and then put it on the same. And we'll just keep testing back and forth to see if we can find it. Hey man, if you made it this far in the video, I highly appreciate it. If you left a like and a comment, just say you made it this far, and just leave a little like just so I can get boosted on the algorithm and do a little better for my video. Yeah man, here's the rest of the video. And that's starting to sound pretty similar. I'm going to put a EQ on that and cut out some of that high end. Maybe we can get a little closer to the sound. Then on the actual VST, I'm going to go ahead and do the cutoff. I'm going to maybe drop it down a little more and see if it'll cut a little bit more of that high end off. So let's listen to it again. I think the delay actually needs to be a little louder. Okay, so that's pretty close. There might be some extra effects on there, like some RC20, but that's when you're creating, that's pretty much as close as you're gonna get, unless you go through the effort of finding the exact sample. Which for some more popular songs, you can actually do that if you do some research. But if you're just trying to recreate some beat from like a smaller artist, it's gonna be a little harder to find the exact samples. So, all right, and now that we have our melody, I'm also gonna go ahead and match the same bass note, because I don't think it's a chord hitting. I think it's just a bass note. So yeah, I don't think there's actually any what do you call it, chords hitting there. I think it's just a low bass note. So I'm gonna go ahead, open SQ8L again, and I'm just gonna pick something that this sounds pretty close to it. That actually might be the exact same sample, so chop it to the length of the actual beat. So I think it's just like a little quarter note like that, or a half note, whatever that's called. I'm pretty sure that's the exact same sample, so let's go ahead and listen to that all together. And in my opinion, that's as close to a perfect match as you're gonna get recreating a beat. So let's listen to the original, and then let's listen to what we have so far. And since I know that that's the exact bass sample that we're using, I'm gonna go ahead and recreate this sound without using the original sample, because I think I could teach you a little more, and you know, it's a little unfair. I created the beat, so I gotta go out of my way and make it a little more harder for myself so I can show y'all. So I'm gonna pick on a completely different VST that I know I didn't use for that. I'm gonna pick a bass. I'm gonna find a similar sounding bass, and then I'm gonna recreate the sound. Since this is not the same, we're gonna have to add our own like reverb and all that. So I think this has a little bit of decay on it. Go ahead and add our own reverb on the actual effect change. Add some reverb. And to recreate that kind of chord effect that the original sample has, because this is kind of hitting a chord if you listen to it. Even though it's just one note, like the actual sample is hitting a chord. So what we're gonna do to recreate that sound is chorus. Because what a chorus does is stacks the notes. So that sounds pretty close. And I'll increase the length because it sounds a lot better. Maybe drop the reverb a little. There you go. You have almost the exact same sound without using the original sample. So let's go ahead and listen to that. There you go. And now that we have our effects and our sounds, let's go ahead and recreate our drums. Alright, so I've gone ahead and recreated the drums, and the way I did that is I started off by singling out the part of the sample that has all the drums playing. I went into the sender, and then I set it in EQ on it. And what I did is I do this cutoff right here, and I go to the very top, and that'll isolate just the drums. So here's how that sounds. And then what you do is it's just like a hard process of just back and forth, listening to different drum samples and just matching the BPM and all that. And once you go through that process, you'll be able to recreate the drums. So here's how the drums sound once I've recreated them. And then here's the original. Okay, and then the way I recreated the 808 is I used the same EQ and I did the cutoff in the opposite direction. So just go to default and then do this cutoff and then set this to 4 and then put it all the way down here and then just let this play into Edison. And the way you'll do that is you'll open Edison, you'll set it to on play, arm it right here, and then just play the whole thing. And then what you want to do is isolate this like that. Go right here, go to regions, detect pitch regions, and then it'll tell you the exact notes that are hitting. So this is hitting E, F, and then F, F, E. So we go in here, pick out our 808, and it's E, F, 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 E. So here's how the recreated sounds. And then here's how the original sounds. Okay, and then here's the drums all together. Alright, so we got our drums, we got our chords, we got our melodies, we got everything we need to complete this track. Now you just want to go through and listen to the entire original beat and make sure that you have every melody done, every drum done, and every variation done. And once you've done all that, using the tricks that you already know from this, you want to go ahead and just lay out the arrangement and you'll be done with the whole beat. Alright guys, I fully arranged the beat. I created some of the other melodies that I didn't cover, but like you should be able to use the methods that I taught you to do that. And then I went ahead and laid that all out. I try to get it as close as possible. Some of the sounds aren't perfect, but it was just, messing around, tweaking knobs, all that shit, until I got the right thing. So here's the original beat first, and then I'm going to show you the recreation. Alright, and then here's the full regression. Alright, guys. That's everything. Hope y'all fucked with it. Let's go ahead and do the outro. Alright, guys. So those are the 6 steps to recreate any beat you want. I hope this video helped you out. I hope that you create some crazy shit with this. You go ahead and recreate your favorite beat. If you fucked with the video, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Tell me what you didn't like. Tell me what you did like. This video took like 2 days to make, so it'd be really appreciated if you left a like and a comment down there. That's pretty much it, man. Thanks for watching.